Hey pals and palettes, welcome back to my channel. It's Gurp Dhaliwal from captureyesstudio, and today we're going to be doing a review slash first impressions on the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palette. I've been looking forward to doing a review on this palette because I know there was two versions of it. There was the original, which was out in Sephora, and it was such a great seller. It did really well, but then it just got discontinued. Huda Beauty and her team came out with this one, and they said it was reformulated and the formulas are a lot better. There has been some talk about this palette because so many people bought the original, and now there's a remastered one with very similar shades, and everyone's kind of wondering what's going on here. Why was the original one put out if this one is better? And everyone's kind of confused. I personally didn't purchase the first one because I felt like there was so many mixed reviews online. So this one was, I think it was around $85 Canadian, which is quite a bit of money. I believe the first one costs just as much. With palettes, it's always hit or miss, or there's multiple palettes coming out, or you'll find those colors in other palettes. I'm kind of glad I decided to wait, and now I can play around with this one and let you guys know my feelings on it. It's this gorgeous rose gold color that has the Huda Beauty logo on it. This is the physical palette, which is so beautiful. Just looking at this alone inspires me to create such beautiful looks. In this palette, you get 18 eyeshadows, 8 buttery mattes, 8 melted metals, 1 wet and dry jet black, and 1 highlighting pressed pearl. You get this beautiful insert, which is like that plastic insert that a lot of companies place, but it's so gorgeous. It has Huda on it, and this is such a cute little thing to keep. I'm kind of weird like that. I like to hold on to these things, so I would probably keep this too. Ooh, Inception. Really nice about this palette is that you do get the mirror, which is amazing if you're traveling. I remember that the last palette didn't have the mirror, so I appreciate having a really large mirror in this, and it just makes applying everything so much easier. Especially for me, I feel like a handheld mirror when you're doing your makeup is so much more convenient. I'm glad that's there. So all the names here are written in rose gold, and the colors right off the bat are really pretty. You get some decent sized pans. I like how you can fold this back a bit and you can just hold it up like this. So on the top row, you have the new formulated eyeshadows that she's been really raving about. They do kind of look indented already without me even doing any swatches. So I'm intrigued and interested to see how that will play out and how that will go on the lid. There's such beautiful shades. I rather just play with it on my lid because sometimes the texture always comes off differently, and I want to see how they really blend and how they work. So let's just jump right into it. So I do want to get a crisp line, so I'm going to go in and just add these post-its to the corner of my eye. I'm just going to take this plastic part off too. You guys know that I always like to add a transitional shade, so I'm going to take Sandalwood, which is this shade right here. There is some kickback. You see some kickback, but that's all right. I feel like a lot of palettes have that, nothing too crazy. So I'm going to go in the upper crease. Okay, that applied very nicely. It blended very well too. I did prime my lids with some Too Faced Shadow Insurance in case you're wondering. So I made sure I put that down, but this applied very well. I'm gonna take a little bit of henna. So this beautiful color right here. I'm gonna take that and pop this right underneath that color we put. Ooh, that's pigmented. That's a really pretty color. It's a deeper brownish shade. Has a little bit of reddish tone to it. Going back in, I'm just gonna start blending this up into that first shade that we laid down. So I'm blending this into Sandalwood. Okay, so it's blending. Okay, I think I'm gonna take some Risque right here and pop that into the outer corner. Again, very pigmented. I'm just dabbing this on, guys. Wow. This one doesn't have that much kickback in the pan. So you can see I've dipped in a few times. There's not that much kickback, but it's applying very well. I really wish I had the other palette to compare the two for you guys, but unfortunately I can't speak on that. But I can say with this palette alone, this is amazing. These colors blend so well. Do you guys see that? Look how nicely the colors are blended together. I haven't even done much. I just blended the two and then pushed this guy in, and it just looks so amazing. There isn't really a matte highlight for underneath the brow, but you can always pick that up in a different palette. But they do have this color right here, which is called Bubbly, which is a shimmer. So although they don't have it in a matte, they have it in a shimmer. So maybe I'll take that and pop it underneath the brows. I barely even dipping into this, but there's so much payoff on this, and that is a gorgeous shimmer. So I'm focusing it more right underneath the highest point of my brow, and then just kind of feathering it here. I didn't wet the brush, I didn't do anything, that's just how it is. In this area here, I do want to use some of these shadows with the new formula just to see how they work, but I want to do a swatch on my arm first for this because I want to see how they go on, because if they are not how I'm thinking they will be, meaning if I don't think that they're full pigment shimmer, I'm gonna put a little bit of base underneath on this so it can really pop. If they're just like want whatever, I don't want to mess up this look, so I'm gonna go in and try to see how Trust Fund is. So this is Trust Fund right here. Let's just dip in first. Okay, that feels, wow. Okay. Okay guys, so we have some pigment. Let's see how this goes on my arm first. Okay, so there is pigment there. Let's see what happens if I go in with a brush. So going in with a brush, picked up a little bit. Okay, so you don't get much with the brush. With the brush, there's like literally nothing. With your fingers, you will pick up more product. Go in. So I'm just gonna look down into my mirror. Good and bad thing about using fingers. What's good is that you are getting the full color payoff that you want. What's not so good is it's a little difficult to get in those inner corners. So be very wary of that, and if you have longer nails, that can be a little problematic too. But I want to be honest with you guys, it's such a gorgeous color, but inner corner, I'm going to try to play around with the brush and see if I can even that out. So I was able to even it out how much I needed to. I am going to go back in with this purple and blend this together. Actually might take like a little more of like a pink shade and blend that in. I'm going to take Doll Face, which is the color right next to it. So this guy. Ooh, that's nice. In the very inner corners, I'm just gonna take Bubbly, which we used underneath the brow. Actually, should we do that or should we do Moon Dust? Oh, that's gorgeous. I'm really interested to see what that black looks like, but I think I'm gonna use it on the lower lash line. So I'm gonna take this Marc Jacobs eyeliner, Black Truffle, which is the black in here. So Black Truffle, and I'm gonna place this underneath and smudge out that liner. Intense, and it looks so good. Ooh, I kind of love this, guys. I think I'm gonna take Maneater and just pop that underneath. All right guys, so here are my final thoughts. I thought this palette was really, really nice because I love the colors. I feel like I can blend them together and they were very, very vibrant. I feel like this is amazing for me because I like to throw it into my kit when I can work on clients. I can take with me when I'm gonna travel because it has such a nice mirror on it. I didn't buy the first rose gold palette, so I'm kind of glad that I didn't because I can play around with this one. And the formulas are really nice. Do I feel like these shadows can be found in another palette? Yes, I actually have a Sephora one that you guys have seen me use a lot that has some of these colors in there, but the formulas in this one, in the top row specifically, is quite different than some other shadow palettes that I've seen. If you are a beauty lover or you just want to pick up this palette, try it out first, do some swatches and see how you feel about it. I personally really liked it and I'm so excited to play with it again. If you have already purchased the first palette, it is kind of saddening that this palette was already out there and then it was kind of reformulated to create something better. I wasn't too sure how I was gonna like the formulas and how I was gonna like the colors, but they blended together so nicely. Sometimes on camera it doesn't pick up as well as it does in person, and I can really see the blend, and that's exactly what I'm looking for, especially when I'm working on clients. All right guys, so that wraps up this first impression / review. Please give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks guys for watching.